the feminism people then, and then pulling these votes on claim to them at section and the R of somebody, when it is clear manipulation. And people have to be careful of these persons who are seen as some position and a jump up and attack about women power, and rape, because some of them are the clear reflection of the opposite. And I hate my people. Thank you, Mrs. Escobar. Well said. Let me hear from Bolo. Bolo wants to chime in as well. Good afternoon, Bolo. Welcome, sir.
Respect, we got Lady Escobar deeply. Why? The hypocrisy of the Jamaica Labour Party talking about the women. You're a man that took up a chair and beat his wife. Was running in the election last year. Where's the, I'm on the live. Where's the protection of the women in that regard? How did a man run to member of parliament to go in the so-called honorable house, but yet you were seeing in a video, battering is no right. You're not protect women, so that is a facade, it's just something that they conveniently use when necessary. And you know that great point about, I've seen it several times when the People's National Party in the Senate and also in the Parliament doing a presentation. And they shoot a beat the right them over there. And then can't take it no more and them right from a point of order. And there was no point of order. I've never seen the speaker say, listen, these are the rules, and that's not a point of order, and we cannot continue to interrupt the speaker in this regard. It's only when it's convenient for them to try and make an attempt to show the People's National Party to say, see, they're not following the rules and they're being disruptive to paint them in such a way. So without part that about I feel quite better. We are watching them very, very carefully, and if we were not acclimated with the standing orders, the way they have abused the standing orders. No, we have learned the standing orders and I read them, and I realize, wait a minute, we are seeing this several instances and you guys said nothing. Let me know if you see it. Everyone want me to not get kicked out of the house. Everyone want me to tell another member to be shut up. Right? I don't understand. How is that acceptable behavior? Right? You don't speak to your colleagues like that in the honorable house, or you should not. My name Darrell Vaz. I could have sworn I heard Darrell Vaz first on the same day when the controversy with the news happened. How do you know, how did the speaker did not identify that? Right? I say, no, that's unacceptable, I make a ruling. At least warning. You know what I mean? It's not his first time. No, there was not even a warning. He said, listen, if you guys are talking about you want the house to reflect and have the children them look on your own behavior and say, yes, this is how you're supposed to do things. There's several members of the Jamaica Labour Party that every chance them get in the house. I have seen Marlon Morgan behave for the Manchester too. When an honorable lady like Miss what's her name? Leah Matley's something. Yeah. You know that? What's her name? The Honorable Donna Scott Matley. I've seen her in the Senate making excellent points and giving her speech, and it's constantly interrupted by Marlon Morgan and somebody else to Manchester TV. And it upset the hell out of me because I'm like, who raised you? This is Donna Scott Matley, you know. This lady is not a controversial lady, you know. She's here making a contribution that is of the utmost importance, and you find it within yourself to be as disruptive and disrespectful as possible. And these are the things that are acceptable in the Senate, right? And nobody says anything. So it's like, you guys want to be bullies, you want to do all the things you do in the house, and when the PMP play the same cards on you, you go to the rules. It's like a police have authority that abuses authority and then enforces the authority. Making make sense, bro. Making make sense, bro. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, respect to the platform, big up everybody. I'm in the class. Respect, man. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Big up Jerry Bryan, you know. For the people on BOLO TBV, like I said, I'm live on BOLO. For the people on BOLO VNR, I'm live on BOLO TBV. I'm gonna end this live. You can come over there if you like, and we're gonna talk about some different things. You understand? Respect our manners. Bless upon yourself. All right, my side. I could get into it. I'm turn on the camera. I do some different conversation right now. I'm live here. I'm live and active on TikTok right now. And BOLO TBV. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hitting the like button. Really appreciate it. Please share the live. and get the video out there, alright? Let me just turn this off. Wow.
In the meantime, opposition spokesperson on justice, ZULIEKA, JESS, also used the...
Let me turn that off. Should I turn it off or should I use it? I think I'm gonna need to use it, you know. I'm gonna need to use it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to use it. But do you guys on BOLO TBV? Do you guys want me to go over to do you guys want me to go over to the OBS, because I can switch from my phone to the OBS, you know? Whatever you guys like. I think you guys have watched Parliament, so you know this is more of a listening party and my commentary for the most part. So I don't think we need to do that. So I'm gonna leave it as is, yeah. I think I should leave it as is. Let me find the TikTok. Let me find the TikTok. Let me find the TikTok. Which one of these are the TikTok? Oh, there it is. There it is. Found it. Alright, so let me just get the TikTok acclimated in the path in which I want it to be. So it's clear to everybody. Oh, I want it to be clear. Yes. Alright. Boom, there it is. There it is. That's what's up. Alright, perfect. Awesome. Now I can find the page I want to find. I'm gonna start off with this. A word and a verse. User, right? Wonderful. There's a few videos that I need to take a look at. The warning continues. Yes, serious listening gap. I think this is one of them.
Of 3 consecutive days of national mourning, fasting, prayer, and repentance. If
this is one of them. This is definitely one of them.
Jamaica.
This is definitely one of them. Yeah. So after I adjust this again, come on in my side. Come on in. Yo, is there anything y'all working today? Hey, thank you so much. TikTok wanna go on with good night. Bless up on ourselves, in. Word is low. Alright, so we can simple. Turn off this fun kinda too loud, you know. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, good night. It's your brother BOLO VNR. There's a series of videos that has I have missed in regards to Pastor Jeffrey Shuttleworth. June is a pivotal month prophetically, so it's something that we have to keep our eye on. And of course, the word anniversary, several videos that I missed, and I'm here to share and give my commentary on briefly. Not gonna do too much because I think it's like 4 or 5 videos. So follow me, watch this video to the end. Please share the video, like the video, first thing coming in. Don't keep it to yourself, share it as well with as much persons as possible. And you guys can reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'm gonna put the number on the screen right there, my WhatsApp number, so you guys can actually text me if you want to join my WhatsApp channel and my WhatsApp group. So if you're not ready to getting notifications, you join my WhatsApp group or my WhatsApp channel. When I post a video, I will put it there, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, you also can reach out to me, and if there's anything happening in your community that you want me to take a look at and possibly highlight, you can send me the video. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Pastor Jeffrey Shuttleworth. Listen to this.
Must observe 3 consecutive days of national. Jamaica must observe 3 consecutive days of national mourning, fasting, prayer, and repentance. If Jamaica does not do it, Mr. Prime Minister and others who are listening now, dab nyamwe supper, lunch, breakfast, and dinner, you could build until you blue.
Dang.
And in fact, you are not going to be able to build anything substantial because the Lord is going to throw it down. We don't even get a chance. So all of those grandiose plans that we're hearing, watch what's going to be happening if we don't repent. Remember 1692, Port Royal.
I ain't got nothing to say.
The wealthiest.
I ain't got nothing to say, bro. Nothing.
But wickedest city. What did God do? After warnings. So far this year, 2026, we have had 10 earthquakes.
Damn.
Now, remember, as I said yesterday, those are the ones that were recorded by the system. But there were others that were felt.
Whoa.
Others that took place that were not recorded by the system. If that is not an intensification of the warnings, then you tell me, what is?
What is?
There is a midnight cry that is about to come upon this island of Jamaica. So we can appoint chief executing officer and doing all kind of things.
Oh my days. Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. You could appoint chief executive officer all you want, Andrew. Mighty God. Let's continue.
Around making fancy speeches and so on. Watch and you will see what's coming up ahead. Be not deceived, God cannot be mocked. This island of Jamaica is a diadem in the hand of God and must come into alignment, must bow before the crucified and risen Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. Jamaica does not do it voluntarily. God is going to cause Jamaica to do so under duress. A word to the wise is sufficient. Jamaica must observe 3 consecutive days of national mourning, fasting, prayer, and repentance. If Jamaica does not do it, Mr. Prime Minister and others who are listening now, dab nyamwe supper, lunch, breakfast, and dinner, you could build until you blue. And in fact, you are not going to be able to build anything substantial because the Lord is going to throw it down. We don't even get a chance. So all of those grandiose plans that we're hearing, watch what's going to be happening if we don't repent.
Wow.
Remember 1692, Port Royal, the wealthiest but wickedest city. What did God do? After warnings, so far this year, 2026, we have had 10 earthquakes.
Sorry.
Now, remember, as I said yesterday, those are the ones that were recorded by the system. But there were others that were felt, others that took place that were not recorded by the system.
Wow.
If that is not an intensification of the warnings, then you tell me, what is?
Wow.
There is a midnight cry that is about to come upon this island of Jamaica. So we can appoint chief executing officer and doing all kind of things. And going around making fancy speeches and so on.
Emotional damage.
Watch and you will see what's coming up ahead. Be not deceived, God cannot be mocked. This island of Jamaica is a diadem in the hand of God and must come into
Angel, what's up, Angel?
must bow before the crucified and risen Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. Jamaica does not do it voluntarily. God is going to cause Jamaica to do so under duress. A word to the wise is sufficient.
God is going to cause Jamaica to bow down to him under duress. And for those that think that that's a bad thing, that's love. God got a certain you know what I'm saying, Jamaica is marked. That's love. If God didn't care about us, he would just destroy us. That says a lot about Jamaica. What's up, Gregory? Salute to you. Angel Green, what's up? That says a lot about Jamaica, that God is going to actually do it to us under duress, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the next video. Mighty God.
This is not a matter to play around. It is very serious. Now, who are the prey? The primary prey are our children, for starters. And that is why I spoke strongly to the minister a while ago, and I hope someone is taking notes to send to her. I gave her some notes last week. And I'm not being facetious. I'm very serious. And I hope someone is taking this to give to her as well. Tell her to go to Rumble. And she can get all of this. Now, the target, the prey are our children, for starters. Children. So let's put that.
Too loud, moment. Too loud. Here.
So the prey. The prey are
too
our
loud.
children.
You can hear first, then can hear too, because I hallway. You have a hallway effect. You want my headphone? Oh, your record.
So the prey are our children.
Do you think, man? No yourself. My young side, I'm not good extreme beauty. What's up, my baby? I'm not good on the can hear what going on. Dana Morris Dixon come to the front of the class.
Unsuspecting.
Dana Morris Dixon come to the front of the class. You're the education minister. This is specifically for you. And Jonas was at the front of the class a while ago. This is for Dana Morris Dixon. Let's continue.
Adults. And of course, unsuspecting adults come in various forms. So we have parents. We have teachers. Yes? We have, I was going to put fivefold, but many of you would not understand when I say fivefold, so I'm going to put church leaders. And then you can think of church members, right? Church leaders / members. Leaders in this society, secular leaders. And I'm going to use one general phrase now. People. I could say John Public. All right, so people are John Public. But let's just use that people. And I'll put / nations. Good. I could stretch it some more, but let us leave it at that. Okay? Very important here. So unsuspecting adults, and you have them there, the categories. Okay? Now, I'm going to go a little bit further now. So we see where the prey. And the strategy that is being used is one of ambushing, using camouflage, using deceit, using deception, using distraction, and they are using fangs, which I will be expanding on a little bit more, to seize them, to grab them, to hold them, to control them, because what we need to put as well under here is control. So there is control, consume. So control, consume. So you control them so that they become consumed. You inject them, you feed them with it so that they will consume it. And the more they consume it, and it's a play on word because in one sense, it's double-edged. So the more they consume it, is the more they become controlled.
Wow.
And that feeds what is called addiction. So you're having all of these happening. It's kind of dynamic, right? What's happening, right? The aim is to control. So you feed them. You put it in their faces. You make it available. On demand.
Big up, bold and beautiful. Big up yourself.
Not on demand. So you make it available. Put it in their face. Make it available to them. Free of cost. And so they consume. And as they consume, they also are consumed.
Wow.
They also come under greater control.
Wow.
So that they are seized.
Wow.
Or arrested. And the arresting comes through addiction. So that you are made to think, the children are made to think, the young people are made to think that they can't do without it. They can't live without it. So that is why a child would box their parent. Can you imagine that? It has happened more than one time in Jamaica and elsewhere. The parent takes away the gadget and the child becomes enraged and box the parent, fight off the parent. It's almost like a drug addict.
Yes.
Having withdrawal symptoms.
That's a fact.
And that's what it is.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And that is being done through fans. And fans would be a combination of all of these, which I'm going to talk to a little bit. But I want you to get the picture, and I hope this is a serious matter.
Yeah, man.
So that they give it, make it available, accessible to the children, young people, and unsuspecting adults. So they consume more and more of it. And become consumed by it.
Wow.
This is not a matter to play around. It is very serious. Now, who are the prey? The primary prey are our children, for starters. And that is why I spoke strongly to the minister a while ago, and I hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, somebody needs to call Dana Morris Dixon to the front of the class. This is for the Ministry of Education, this portion of it. Let's move on to the next video. Very, very serious. Facebook, all of these, different distractions. The children are definitely consumed by it, and they actually teach them through it. Because if you don't watch your kids, like even some of the cartoons that seem to be innocent, it's actually teaching a kid some devilish stuff. I'm telling you, the devil is very cunning. But let's continue.
What you're doing is not helping our children. That's not going to help our children. That's not going to make them any better. It's not going to improve their numeracy and literacy. Huh? What you're doing is to turn our children, right? In fact, they have this saying that you are stunting their growth, intellectually and otherwise.
Right.
Yes, because the research would have shown us what overexposure to technology, over-reliance on technology, especially for the young, impressionable minds, the deleterious effects that are visited upon the users or consumers. The empirical data is there, Minister. Go and do your research.
Minister, education again,
I'm going to say it one more time. The empirical data is there. Go and do your research.
So you want to warn about the people
and I publicly call you out for what it is. And the government too.
Yes.
I make no apologies for it. Our children will not be exposed to AI in the way that you are proposing it. We reject it and we renounce it. Go.
These are the men of God within this society, ladies and gentlemen. All right. the watchman that watcheth, that is charged by the Most High to approach their job without fear or favor. Thank God for his disciples here on earth. Thank God for the remnant that is here on earth. Thank God for each and every one of these individuals. I'm telling you.
Back to the drawing board. Consult with the stakeholders, persons whose eyes are open. And we devise together a method or methodology rooted in sound pedagogy that will ensure that our children, the best interest and welfare of our children is preserved. Going around talking nonsense. And also, I appeal to the teachers. This move is to disenfranchise teachers, to render teachers null and void.
Facts.
And so teachers listening, you had better wake up.
Facts.
And yes, I know there are those who are disingenuous who would say, oh, he's against technology. You're stupid if you say that. How could you say I'm against technology and I use it?
That's right. That's right.
We have this stupid approach in Jamaica where we rush ahead.
True.
And implement all forms of measures.
That's right.
Totally oblivious of the warnings that are being given from people like us. We have been given a warning about many of the things that you have done and now have caused chaos in the society. And it is after the fact now we are trying to roll things back.
And I want to add to what the pastor, the apostle, is saying. We see in other cultures where they have already used these things and made mistakes, and then we come and want to use them as well. It is asinine. It is absolutely asinine. You understand? Let's continue. Crazy.
And we are saying, do not use our children as guinea pigs.
No.
We will not stand for it.
Yes.
Because you are also using our children as pilots.
Yep.
To generate, to train AI. We will not sit back and allow our children to be used as guinea pigs. And it is high time that as parents we stand up.
True, man.
And let our voices be heard and protect our children.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be going further in a teaching moment very shortly. I'll be going to the whiteboard, not the smart board, but the whiteboard, which is the equivalent of the chalkboard. And I will be going further into the matter. But I had to say that. Call out the minister. And of course, I love the minister, I love all the politicians. But I will not condone anything, any policy that is not in the best interest of our children and by extension the nation.
Now, the video he's talking about is the video that I just played a while ago on this reaction. That's the one on the chalkboard where he was going through the details. Just for clarity, let's move on.
Let us wake up. Watch it. Watch it. Let us wake up. Do not become addicted to fans. Do not become addicted to Facebook. Teach your children. Teach your young people. Churches. Teach your members. Pastors, wake up. Bishop, wake up. Apostles, wake up. We can do without Facebook and Meta. We can do without Amazon. We can do without Netflix. Do not allow Netflix to rob your children of their sleep.
Mighty God.
Do not allow Netflix to introduce the evil lifestyles, homosexuality, demonism, Satanism, and all those matters of evil, types of evil.
Good night.
Do not allow Netflix to take you away from worship of the true and living God.
Amen.
Google, as convenient as it is not indispensable. It is rooted in Satanism. And even where we have to use it, we must be mindful of that and do not become dependent on it.
Amen.
Starlink, which has become a craze in Jamaica and a crave in Jamaica, let us understand that it is also a part of the beast system.
True.
And we must handle cautiously.
Yes.
And put ourselves at that place where when we need to delink and disassociate from it and the others, we do so.
Big up yourself,
not allowing
share up the life, don't keep it to yourself.
The beast to sink
its claws,
its fangs into us.
Right.
Because the moment that happens, the venom is going to be ejected or injected in us.
Yes.
And it is only a matter of time before we are consumed and destroyed. A word to the wise is sufficient. Now, as I'm mentioning that, the Holy Spirit would mention to me, as I mentioned Baphomet, let me deal with this. This is an aside, but it is very important. So I'm going to deal with it very quickly. So Baphomet. Baphomet. So that's the goat head. Alright? Now, do you know? And look at how conniving and deceiving or deceptive Satan is.
Yes. Yes.
This practice by many Americans, and if Americans are listening, listen, I have no qualms with you, but I have to speak the truth.
True.
This practice of calling our children kids. Kids. The devil is a liar. We reject it.
Wow.
Do you know that it is a part of the satanic design? Because once you call your child a kid, you are actually saying that they are of Baphomet.
Yeah, yo, listen, man. Yo, I am taking that very seriously. If I should have children, I am not calling them no kids. Yo, yes, sir. You gonna learn today. Let's continue. Gonna learn today.
They are offsprings of Baphomet because kids come from goat.
That's true.
You hear me now?
Goat kid, yep. Yep.
And Baphomet, the symbol of Baphomet, if you are to research it, Baphomet sits on a throne and have two little children on either side of Baphomet. In other words, Baphomet say, these are my kids. That is all children. Because Baphomet can have no children of its own.
No, man.
But what Baphomet does is that Baphomet seeks to take over our children. And once he takes them over, he calls them kids. And the unsuspecting adult world all across the United States of America, for the most part, have taken up this satanic practice of calling children kids.
Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. Are you ready, kids? You see how the music cartoon them? Damn, bro.
And I'm saying to Americans, stop it.
Wow.
I'm also saying to Jamaica, stop it.
Wow.
Stop calling our children kids, because once you begin to call them kids, you are saying they are offspring of Baphomet. The devil is a liar. And that is why we in this part of the vineyard, we reject that designation. And trust me, I want to get rid of it from TBC. But so many of the programs that we utilize focus on the family and so on. It's all over there. So it's almost as if now we would have no programs. But I'm praying about it because we have to cut it out. This thing of calling our children kids, that's of the devil. How can a human being have kids? It's a plot of Satan to put a curse on our kids, our children, yeah, calling them kids.
So you see, even the part is like is a new revelation, right? And even him, because it's so programmed into us to call our children that. No, I have to be mindful, you know. If I'm asking somebody, so how many children do you have? And they say, I'm saying, no, how many children do you have? And I'm gonna let them know that goats have kids. So that's gonna start a whole conversation. Wow. Let's continue.
And then making them more amenable to receive Baphomet as their father, as their God. And remember though, Baphomet serves under Satan and they have many emissaries. So there you have Queen of Heaven, Queen of Course, yes, you have Baal, you have Asherah, you have Dagon, and there are a whole host of them. You have Leviathan, and so on and so forth. Mermaid, merman, and so on. So let us understand.
He just used a word a while ago, amenable, A-M-E-N-A-B-L-E. Its meaning is being open, willing to agree. Sorry, excuse me, my bad, God have mercy. Being open, willing to agree, or responsive to suggestion. So when you use the word KIDS for your children to describe them in that way, it opens them up, because words sound and power, you know the Bible talks about the tongue. So the devil is very cunning. The devil understands all of this. So don't take this part of it that he's talking about very lightly when it comes to words. You understand? So amenable means being open, willing to agree, or responsive to suggestion. So when you call your children KIDS, you have them open up to Baphomet. You have them in agreement with Baphomet. That's what he's saying. Let's continue.
So again with the whole deception. So Jamaica, I call on you, stop calling our children kids. The moment you call them kids, you are cursing them.
Wow.
And you are saying that they are offspring of Baphomet. The devil is a liar.
Wow.
Now,
wow.
The problem is to fix the family. The problem solving crime and violence is not to give the police more power. Give them more guns.
Listen.
Give them
Michelle,
more
what's up, my baby? Listen.
Invade people's privacy through Starlink and whatever. That's not going to solve crime and violence. It is to fix the family. A couple of days ago, and I'm using this and then I will hand over to the team. We had not just far, just right across there, we have been praying that that nightclub be shut down. And bit by bit, God is working. And then when it is shut down, it's not if, it is going to be shut down. Recently, there was a fellow, right? Someone doing all sorts of antics, and he fell and broke his neck there. He died right on the road there. I'm not sure if it made the news. It made the news about that? Perhaps not. Indeed, right? Right? After they had something like some pool party or some nonsense, right? Right? And they went there and went on with their antics and so on, and he fell, broke his neck, wow. Died right there. And look at the warnings that we have been given. And since then it has sent shock waves, right? Many of them, they were so frightened and petrified and all of that in consternation. They couldn't believe it. Why am I bringing that up? To solve problems like those, when you look on the little young girls, where do they come from? Where does young girls come from? Some of them are even underage. Where them come from?
True. Think about that.
Foreigners that come from Jamaica.
Bless up, Shango. Big up.
From different parishes.
Alicia, big up.
How is it? We're having these
Barky, thank you, Barky. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, guys.
Just
thank you.
Proliferating.
Get the likes up for me TikTok. We need the likes up.
Girls, young girls, all over the place. Many of them are underage.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell me say the authority no know say them thing I want?
Ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, thank you. I was saying that a while ago. David, big up yourself. See there? David there on the mission. Ladies and gentlemen. Big up people on TikTok, big up people on BOLO TBV and BOLO VNR clips and BOLO VNR 2.0 and BOLO VNR. Listen to me. The man is not telling any lies, you know. If you guys ever pass through one of these joints, if you're in the streets, you know a lot of these girls are in there. You have to wonder, like, how old are you? This is how Jamaica has been running, you know. Like, been running. Where are the mayors? Where's the police? Right? And I'm not even talking about a party thing right now. I'm talking about everybody, PMP and JLP. Where are the authorities? Where them there? There's not enough focus on this, in protecting our children, the girls, from these types of activities, They leave school, they run away, sometimes they get picked up, and then you see them. Listen, if you was to really talk to some of these women when they get older, they would tell you how long they've been in these prostitution these facilities working. I'm not asking Christ. I'm telling you, he's not telling any lies. And you have to ask yourself the question, where is the authorities? And this is not a political thing. PMP or JLP, they have failed in this regard, ladies and gentlemen, to protecting and putting sanctions and shutting down these places. They have failed. Where are the mayors? Where's the police? The police them know what is going on. Nobody goes to the strip club like police. And some of the same police them is having sexual intercourse with these young girls, underage girls. It is a nasty culture in Jamaica, and that's a fact. Nobody can challenge me. Not even one person can challenge me upon that. Pastor not tell no lie. Let's continue.
No, I'm just asking that, because I know.
No, him not telling a lie.
I don't know. Many of them are involved.
Yeah.
Many of them are benefiting from it.
Because
many of them own or have shares in these facilities.
Yes.
You think I don't know? We know.
Yes, him not telling a
lie. Many of them are involved in human trafficking.
Because Alicia.
You think we don't know? We know that.
Serious
the Lord has showed us clearly. It is a part of the corruption as well.
Yes.
Now, if you fix the family, and of course a man can't fix the family, it's really through a spiritual renaissance that needs to take place. But the point I'm making is, if you fix the family, then there's no way those little girls, young girls, can find their way out.
No way.
Of the house.
No
Maybe
way.
One or a few may escape.
A true man.
You can have everywhere you go. You see
a true out of hand.
Walking around the place.
Out of hand.
And doing all manner of things.
True.
Of course, you have some greyback women involved as well.
You think I lie, Mattel?
And also greyback men and whatever, because the problem is not just the women. So don't get me wrong.
Oh my God.
But if you fix the family,
me say some of the women them are recruiting little girl them too. I'm not telling no lie. The whole society have to take blame for this. He ain't telling no lies. Not telling
what will actually happen is that the supply chain will be shattered.
Yes. Yes.
We'll have fewer and fewer of these. Many of these young girls go to school. So they go to school once or twice a week. And then they are MIA. Parents, the parents, they don't live with their parents. Or then they still go, and then in the nights they go. And that is why when they go to school in the days, many of them behave the way they do, and the boys behave the way they do, and so on. We know what going on, You think we don't know what going on?
Jamaica, it's because I grew up in a certain family. Thank God for my mother and my father. They teach me good principles, and I tell them that. Big up my mother and my father. I have seen them, and I stay clear of them. I've never gotten involved with any of those young girls. From me see them, me know Jamaica. And sometimes they honest with me and tell me, say, I say, yo, what you do here, so? You're supposed to go on, you're supposed to be at school. Right? And that's why I say the entire society have to take blame. This is not a PMP or JLP. Me have to take blame, all the way have to take blame for that. No look joke about it. All the way have to take blame for that, Jamaica.
So as I have said that, I'm going back. So we need to fix the family. It's not about putting Jamaica Eye, putting up cameras all over the place, and you're making a bigger do. That's not going to solve the problem.
No, solve nothing.
What that is doing is to impinge and infringe on the privacy of the citizens of Jamaica. Inconveniencing law-abiding citizens, taking away our personhood. Can't do almost anything you're doing, everywhere you're going. Everybody have to know your business. Somebody watching you on camera in some centralized location. Huh? That's not going to solve crime. And then that same system is used to control people and to blackmail them.
Yes.
And to take advantage of them.
Facts. Pastor preach. No little joke.
So back to the main point. This matter of domestic violence is not a man problem. It's not a man problem. It's a family problem. It's a sin problem.
Sin, yes.
It stems from the breakdown of the family. And if the government is serious, if the private and public sector, if the church is serious, we must come together with one voice and say, listen, the family must be fixed in Jamaica. When the family is fixed, our young girls will be safe, or young boys, because it's not just young girls, you know.
True.
People are there thinking, I know that there are boys being buggered, and they are also being ravaged as well. It's not the young girls, but it's more ostentatious, it's more manifest where the young girls are concerned, because they, most of the times you will see out there, since the backlash will not be as great. The problem is to fix the family.
Yes.
The problem solving crime and violence is not to give the police more power, give them more guns. This nation of Jamaica must repent, and God will not.
Big shout out to Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Make sure that you guys go and follow a word and a verse on TikTok. Alright, follow a word and a verse on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. These particular videos was centralized around the children mostly. So Dana Morris Dixon, you're definitely in focus here. JCF, JDF, the church, as you said, civil society. Everybody has a role to play in protecting our kids. You know, there's a saying that says that it takes a village to raise a child, and you never tell a lie. We all have a shared responsibility. And I said kids a while ago, I mean children, because that's another thing as well. Stop calling your children kids. So we have a shared responsibility to actually protect our children. And I mean our, because it takes a village to raise a child. No parent can watch their child 24 hours a day. It's impossible. You have to trust the teacher, you have to trust the driver, you know, whether you're hiring somebody to privately bring your kids home. There are certain limitations, obviously. It depends on how, you know, literally like how wealthy you are in terms of the level of protection. And also the biggest level of protection is praying for your children and covering them on the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. You understand? So, hey, at the end of the day, solid. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Mighty God, Pastor Jeffrey Shuttleworth. Wow. Let me go to our good sister now. I think I can let me see. Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah, I think I can do that. PBC. Is this PBC? I think this is PBC. Before I go to PBC, let me go to no, I can't do that one. Perfect. Before I go to PBC, this portion of PDTV is essential. Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much things I can actually go to, you know, I saw a keynote speech from Andrew Willis, and I was almost through. I was like, what is he talking about? You know what I mean? I had so much things to say. I was listening to like 5 minutes of it, and I said, man, you know what? Let me move away from this. This man is upsetting me. Honestly, this man is actually upsetting me right now. You understand? So I had to like, yeah, let me just stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Alright. Alright, so let me see here. Boom. Take this off the screen. Perfect. Oh, that's impressive. Alright. That's impressive. There's a part of this that I want to play specifically. Andre played a video, which I found very interesting. Whoever is doing the artwork, man, salute to them. The AI is ridiculous. The AI pictures, oh my God. The AI pictures is off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who's doing these AI pictures, but once I get them, man, I gotta use some of these, bro. I'm sorry and I apologize, man. These are really good. These pictures are on point. Lord have mercy. Let me just get this guy out of here and use that picture that I just screenshot a while ago and add it to this real quickly. As of course, you know the substantive reason why I'm here tonight. Lord, ladies and gentlemen, share up the live, no man. Like up the live, no man. We are going at it, you know. We are going at it. Big up the general check boss. We are going at it. Alright, see there. See there. Alright. Yeah, let me just get this picture the right way. Get the full scope of it. Right. There we go. There we go. You know it's funny? Me hear my mother play this part of the live stream, you know, and I was listening to them. I said to myself, say, when I come home, I gotta snip this up, bro. Yeah, I gotta talk about this. Ain't no way I'm leaving this one alone. I'm sorry. Shout out to PDTV. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to limit how much things I react to on all the platforms. Yeah, I really have been trying to do that. You know what I mean? So what is this? Why is it not coming up? That's kind of weird. Okay. Wait a minute. So, oh, that's the video. Alright, so that one is okay, but I don't know. The other one is not coming up. I guess I have to remove this one, because every time I try to use it, it doesn't work. So let me just remove it. Get it out of the way. Let me try mark rolling on. Put up this picture. Right side of it. Alright. English. Oh, there we go. Got him. Okay, why is it doing that? Wow. What is happening with these pictures? I'm here trying to. Alright, so you know what? Let me try this. Alright, that worked. Thank God it did. That opened up. Wonderful. There we go. Told you we would figure it out. Yes. Awesome. Let's get it. All right. Wonderful. There we go. Let me go to the video because I got it on mute. See what they're talking about. See if we can find the actual part of more to share real quick.
Is Jamaica.
#1 sponsor of terror, which they are.
In Cuba, Jamaica,
Havana, and southeast
This
Cuba.
video.
These dots
cut it strategically. The Nemitz has been here. There's another see. I better when you're in
U.S. spy planes.
this satellite.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Partner TV. The man literally played a video that I've never seen before, right? In terms of international conversations surrounding what's happening with Cuba, right? And then, of course, you know, head boy called in because, you know, anything to do with Cuba, hey, you know, it's a top interest for the general. You understand what I deal with? So let's listen to this very, very carefully, and then we're gonna go to what head boy had to say. All right, listen to this. Very interesting.
It's for them.
Crazy.
Why are U.S. spy planes packed with intelligence gathering devices circling the waters near Havana in southeast Cuba? These dots show where military aircraft and drones broadcast their locations and were picked up by open source trackers off the coast of Cuba, a surge since the beginning of February. These aircraft are built with special sensors to collect acoustic signals, gather signals intelligence, and capture radar imagery, all for monitoring foreign military operations and potential threats. The Pentagon declined to comment on these findings, and we've also reached out to the Cuban government. This isn't the first time we've tracked this sort of activity. Dozens of these same U.S. surveillance aircraft have been active around the war zone in Ukraine and near geopolitical hotspots on the Korean Peninsula and along Russia's western border. However, it is the same kind of highly visible surveillance operations that preceded U.S. ground operations in Venezuela and, more recently, strikes in Iran. As President Trump began regularly commenting on his views of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, publicly visible surveillance flights began off the coast. The same pattern played out more recently in Iran.
I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
As the president has said repeatedly, he wants to address that problem diplomatically, but of course the president has other options as well.
Hardening rhetoric from top administration officials paired with intelligence flights ended in military intervention for the second time. Whether or not the latest flights are explicitly meant as a signal from the Pentagon or the White House, the message is likely to be unsettling for Cuba's government.
You heard that.
Jamaica, you heard that. Me no need to say that. Me no need to add or take away. The picture was painted very clearly. 1 second. Me go to the next part now. The head boy calling
The Iwo Jima, which is an amphibious.
So, you know, for the Port of Kingston, that there is a radar.
Boy calling. Let me take this call and then I hang it.
Here's head boy, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have head boy. Yes. Oh, my microphone. Oh, it's supposed to good enough. Microphone supposed to good. Hold on. Did I actually check my microphone to see if it's Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it's alright. Yeah, let's listen to head boy, ladies and gentlemen.
Head boy calling tonight. Hello, good night, head boy.
You know, it's serious.
Professor, I'm not going to be long at all. Good night to you. Just ask yourself this question. If you came to assist with the hurricane, why did you dock in the Port of Kingston?
I'm dead. Emotional damage.
Jamaica, I kid you not. When I was listening to Andre earlier, and he was live, and I heard him ask that question, I said, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that, bro? Think about that. If you're talking about the hurricane, why would you dock in Kingston? You would actually go to Mobe. It's closer to the affected areas. But why did you dock in Kingston? Amen. These are questions. These are questions. Let's continue. All right. Let's continue.
If you came to assist
with the hurricane, why you dock in the port of Kingston? Wouldn't you go to Montego Bay, to the western part of the island where there's more damage?
Yes, you would.
But
You
you come to the
literally
eastern
would.
section, which is the closest section to Cuba.
Yes.
Yeah? I will say again and I'll repeat again and sound like a stock record, because I have had confirmation that there is a radar system that has begun to be installed in Jamaica on the eastern belt. And I asked the question again, is there a radar system that is going to be installed at Ken Jones? Oh, the ship itself, one of the things that people need to understand about the ship, you can listen in, but it doesn't give you the effective, because they'll be very far in the Port of Kingston, you know, for the Port of Kingston, Cape Still is from Cuba. It's on the Cuba is on the other side, so they would have to be closer to Port Maria or Anata Bay or Port Antonio, yeah. So it wouldn't help them. But the playbook is simple. They are attempting, and I say this to say that the United States will not be successful in what it's going to be doing. I'll tell you why. You see, the war in Iran exposed something that a lot of people didn't realize. The US lied about the amount of damages they suffered in the war in Iran. Yeah, they lied. For example, most of their F-35 and F-18 jets were destroyed.
Wow.
Their missile defense systems didn't work. If you remember, you know, they had to call to Ukraine to change. They had to call to South Korea and different places for assistance to set up the missile defense systems in place like Kuwait. A matter of fact, just yesterday, Iran hit.
What can go so?
If you remember, you know, they had to call to Ukraine to change. They had to call to South Korea and different places for assistance to set up the missile defense systems in place like Kuwait. A matter of fact, just yesterday, Iran totally destroyed the airport in Kuwait. Yeah?
What? Wow.
And so the Cubans have seen the weaknesses. Now, let me tell you something
I hear the soldiers' presence in St. Anne today was a lot in Ocherios. People just calling me and say, teacher, the amount of US soldiers in Ocherios, it don't look good. They were a lot.
Nance Bay, yeah, is also another point that is, remember, it's the same east coast, you know, not easterly direction. But I'll tell you about a warship. The difference with a warship and
so St. Anne's Bay to because north side, so you know, say Cuba did this, so war strategy, position, potentially. Yeah, I see what he's saying. I see what he's talking about, man. Yeah, Andre say he's getting a lot of calls from his students that in St. Anne, in Ocherios specifically, they're seeing a lot of soldiers. Very interesting.
A warship does not have the defense for example, its defense capabilities against drones. And one of their worries is that when drones, so we have seen a new form of warfare that's been fought, that is with the use of drones. So the weaknesses in the air, even the Abraham Lincoln, why you think they can't go down Iran will go pull the Strait of Hormuz? If they're so bad, why they not go pull the Strait of Hormuz? They can't do it because when you're on a warship, you're exposed. You're exposed. You're literally exposed to the elements. But you know what hurt me the most in all of this? That the Andrew Holness government does not have the cojones to say to the Jamaican people that they have signed a radar agreement. And I will say it again. I will say it until thy kingdom come. They have sold us out without telling us the risk that they are putting us in. And when the altar clap call, may God save Jamaica. Because the US is going to attack. It's not when. They are going to attack. But Cuba will respond. As you said, be prepared for what is to come. And Jamaica will be in the crossfires. And we'll feel in the same pain like what Kuwait Saudi Arabia, right? UAE and Bahrain is now feeling all of their military bases have been destroyed. The US is failing and falling. They're only living on name. Don't let them intimidate you. And they can't do the same thing they did in Venezuela. Cuba is not Venezuela, you know. By the way, I have changed my view on what happened in Venezuela, you know.
Ball out! Whoa, we need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Jamaica. We know it's a warship. You know, we understand, say it's not the first time and all of these things. That's not the point. There's a significance about this timing. Venezuela just got clapped by the United States. Operation and everybody, where I was totally caught off guard when I heard about that. Totally caught off guard. There's a war going on with Iran and the United States. In the middle or the starting, well, I don't know if it's the middle, but it's active right now. Active war is happening between the United States and Iran. And they bring a warship here, and they were actually saying, oh, Cuba is next. Come on, bro. Read between the lines, ladies and gentlemen. It wouldn't be unreasonable to think that there's something going to go down in the near future where Cuba is concerned with the United States. It wouldn't be unreasonable. That's why I played the video that I played before. Big up Andre, because I him first mistake played that video there. Right? Where the man them showing you the patterns of all these spy aircrafts around Cuba, going as close as they can go. That's what they call gathering intelligence. Why are you so active around Cuba? It would not be out of the realm of possibility that they are going to. My thing is this: Jamaica, the Jamaica Labour Party, potentially having an agreement with the United States to say, yo, you can do whatever it is that you're doing and then attack Cuba. That is not good for Jamaica. Jamaica don't have we don't have nothing, brother. Cuba have all type of thing and them have all type of friend. Why would we want to get involved with something like that? And I want to shout out Ishmael. If you guys are not subscribed to Ishmael, you definitely should go and subscribe to Ishmael. Ishmael said something earlier on his live stream when I was listening. He said, is it a coincidence that Andrew Wallace actually wants to I think it's a radar plant or something like that, to construct a nuclear plant, something to that effect. Let me go and look it up. I want to go and listen.
I am of the view that Maduro was sold out.
Mm.
You know what they did? I have changed my view on what happened in Venezuela now. I am of the view that Maduro was sold out.
What can go so?
You know what they did? They set up the first time in the history the United States used a system. Rather than spoke to people in Venezuela. And in fact, that was in Venezuela when the incidents was happening. The first thing that happened, they started bombing left, right, and center. That was the distraction.
Mm-hmm.
But they let go something like what they call is a sonic wave. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So the sonic wave, literally, is a weapon that it creates like an audible noise that it can deaf you. Yeah? That is how they were able to unalive the 24 Cuban soldiers. And they took out every single one of them. You know why? Because those soldiers were loyal to Maduro, and they would have said to Cuba what exactly happened there.
Sonic waves, mighty God.
Yeah, man. They said for 4 hours they bombarded Caracas before they started, you know. And you see what they do yesterday? And CARICOM have no cojones. Let me tell you something. For all I care, they could have just mash up CARICOM and run it. But can you believe CARICOM supported Trinidad's candidacy to the United Nations Security Council?
Mighty God.
If America wants to invade Cuba tomorrow morning, who do you think is going to vote yes?
Kamala Prasad this season.
Kamala point 1 wasn't bad, but Kamala 2.0, I don't know who she be. This is a different Kamala, and she's a sellout, and CARICOM is a sellout for having supported her candidacy because they know they were the reasons why there couldn't be a declaration from CARICOM at the CARICOM summit for Cuba, you know. They hold out. They hold out. They have sold out the Caribbean, and for all intents and purposes, Trinidad must let CARICOM. We want them in there. Start to tax the goods. We must lead a boycott of Trinidad under Kamala Prasad this season. She's a wicked CIA. She's what Andrew Willis is to Jamaica. A CIA. A gone.
Mighty God.
Trust me. Bombshells, ladies and gentlemen. It don't look good, it don't sound good. I mean, let me know what you guys think, but before I end this reaction, I think I found what I was looking for, right? This particular article in 2024. And you know, this is what I think this is what the good brother Ishmael was talking about. Jamaica eyes adoption of nuclear energy, November 30th, 2024. As the quest for more sustainable power solutions as eco-friendly technologies intensify, the adoption of nuclear energy and equipment has emerged as a focal point of discussion for Jamaica, a country heavily reliant on imported fossil fuels. The adoption of nuclear energy could mean stabilize the energy costs, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and job creation. All right, so I believe this is what he was talking about, not a nuclear plant, but some level of I think they said something about, see there, it says Jamaica government is actively laying groundwork to integrate nuclear energy into national power grid as a long-term strategy to lower electricity costs and achieve energy independence, driven by Prime Minister Andrew Willis. The administration is targeting small modular reactors rather than traditional large-scale plants to match the island's smaller power grid capacity. So that is what was said. I don't know if all of this ties into anything. I just think it's very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Like and share the video. Now let's get to our darling and our dearest, one of the queens of the People's National Party, Miss ZULIEKA JESS. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to get your pen and paper. Get your pen and paper. And if you stop using pen and paper, get your little phone and go to in your notepad part. And I want you to write down every single thing that ZULIEKA JESS is highlighted in this particular reaction. Trust me, you're going to want to do that. Alright? Yo, this is some wild stuff, man. Lord have mercy. PVC it is? Yes, PVC. Alright. Live stream. Parliament. That's June 3rd. It's June 3rd? I think it's June 3rd.
Yeah, slowly.
Yes, June 3rd. Right, here we go. Here's the queen. Here is the queen, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Here is the queen. Let's listen.
Permission to speak from a seat. You may go ahead, Member Jess. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak from a Permission granted.
Permission to speak from a seat that is
Yeah,
not
I
my
said
own.
permission granted.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I rise to make my maiden contribution to this sectoral debate,
You're here. You're
I must
here.
start by thanking God for his guidance and
That's right.
grace. I wish to thank the Leader of the Opposition, Mark Golding, for the confidence he has placed in me
One
to
Mark
shadow
G.
the critical portfolio of justice.
That's right.
Even though I must confess that at first I wasn't sure if it was a promotion or punishment. Either way, I promise to defend justice fiercely.
Yeah.
I come to this role in my 15th year as a senior attorney with diverse experience and perspectives. I wish to thank my incredible hardworking team on the ground, led by my counselors, Councillor Everton Fisher, Caretaker Maurice Nemard, but particularly, Madam Speaker, Councillors Champion Myers and Donovan Pagan, who have been my shield and my protector. I wish to thank my phenomenal family in Northeastern St. Elizabeth. Thank you for saying yes to JESS and a young fresh face. I promise to represent your voices stridently, even if some of the phone calls I receive are about asking me to personally help you to find a wife, or to personally reimburse you for the damage done to your vehicle by the potholes along Santa Cruz. To my friends and long-suffering family, thank you for putting up with my long days and late nights on the political battlefield. You are my anchor and my sanity. Madam Speaker, this maiden presentation is not mine alone. It belongs to the people of Northeastern St. Elizabeth and to every Jamaican demanding a fair, transparent, and accessible justice system. I am deeply honored to speak on their behalf today. But we cannot speak about a fair and accessible justice system when the physical infrastructure of our courts is an absolute disgrace. 7 months after Hurricane Melissa, the justice system in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland isn't recovering. It is battering for life.
So, I'm gonna write this down, ladies and gentlemen. The physical infrastructure of the justice system is battering for life. Let me write it down on my phone. Because I must think it's a joke. When we're done, we go over it, you know. The physical infrastructure of the justice system is battering for life. That is the heading. And then you have small keynotes under as examples of what he's talking about. We don't know if you take notes on the day in school, though. Like when the teacher teach, you know if you summarize. All right, boom, boom. You have to know if you do that, you know. So I saw want to do it. All right. So the physical infrastructure, only can voice note it too. The physical infrastructure of the justice system is battering for life. Head note, ZULIEKA JESS speech. Moving on. Let's continue.
Today, I must speak on behalf of the judges, the court staff, the attorneys, and the thousands of ordinary Jamaicans who are being forced to search for justice in ruins.
Mighty God.
Madam Speaker, let us look at the proud parish of St. Elizabeth, from which I now hail. The historic Black River Courthouse was battered by Hurricane Melissa. And what was this ministry's brilliant emergency plan? To cram the displaced staff into the Santa Cruz Courthouse, which was never designed to carry this capacity. Go to Santa Cruz right now, Madam Speaker. The conditions are utterly degrading. In January of this year, court staff were driven to fury because they were being forced to work in a building with no running water.
Pause. When I write it down, Jamaica, court staff was furious because they had to work in a building with no running water. Footnote. When you do what I do, you know, we go back over this, you know. All right.
No water for sanitation, no water for dignity. How can this administration boast of a modern justice system when our court workers cannot even wash their hands?
Mighty God.
Under this government, Madam Speaker, the wheels of justice aren't just turning slowly. They are grinding to a dirty halt.
What can go so embarrassing?
But the lack of water isn't even the worst part. The security infrastructure under this administration has completely collapsed. Just months ago in Santa Cruz, it was reported in the news that a member of the public barged straight into the court office and grabbed a box of legal files. It took the court staff themselves, who are ordinary workers, not trained security personnel, to physically fight off the intruder and knock the files from his hands.
So the court was breached by an outside intruder. Files was attempted to be taken. There was no police, not enough security. And it's the staff, the regular staff, that had to physically fight off the individual to retain those files. Footnote. Mighty God.
This happened at the Santa Cruz courthouse in January of this year.
Wow, that is shameful. No, Jamaica. No water in the courtroom. Physical files, there's an attempt to take it. Big up the staff, but then it could be worse. If that person had a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're putting people's lives in danger because of incompetence. Right? This is beyond politics at this point, you know. You have to just look on it for what it is. Any administration that did this, like, people heads need to roll. And when I say I'm talking about their jobs, like, you need to be removed. You need to resign. Like, who? Delroy Chuck? Like, what the hell? Come on, bro. And then you have to look into Dr. Kevin Blake as well. You understand? Like, what is the disconnect? You know what is the disconnect? So where's the breakdown? There needs to be an investigation into how the hell these things can happen. And people need to be held responsible. Let's continue. Sorry.
Let us move on down the road, Madam Speaker, to Westmoreland. The Westmoreland Parish Court is out of commission. Initially, the minister boldly declared in November 2025 that the resources were available and that they were looking to secure a contractor under emergency procurement to restore the courthouse in the shortest possible time. But a few moments later, what do we hear, Madam Speaker? Now the minister says it will be too costly to repair. A total shameless flip-flop.
Repairs needed in Westmoreland. Supposed to be done. Horace Chang flip-flop. I know they say they don't have any money. What can go so?
What do we hear, Madam Speaker? Now the minister says it will be courthouse in the shortest possible time. But a few moments later, what do we hear, Madam Speaker? Now the minister says it will be too costly to repair. A total shameless flip-flop. Madam Speaker, the minister's assurances carry no weight. First, the money was there to do the repair. Now, the building cannot be repaired. This isn't governance. It is pure double talk designed to hide delay and incompetence. They are talking
delay and incompetence.
They are talking in circles to hide the fact that they are dropping the ball and the people need justice.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
In light of the fact that the Westmoreland Parish Court is compromised, ordinary citizens are now forced to cross parish lines into Hanover to access the circuit court all the way in Lucy. Madam Speaker, think of the staggering economic punishment. Madam Speaker, think of the staggering economic punishment this inflicts on the people of Westmoreland.
So the people of Westmoreland have to go distance to get justice in a time when, I mean, prices, I mean, like inflation, you know, food prices are high, recovering from Hurricane Melissa. I mean, it's just too much. Wow, this is really bad, man. Right. Yo, this is really bad, man.
Madam Speaker, I see that those on the government aisle do not wish for me to speak the truth today, but we are going to talk about justice. Think of the astronomical expense for jurors, for litigants, for lawyers who must find transportation and meals just to travel back and forth to Lucy day after day because there is no court in Westmoreland to accommodate circuit.
Lucy?
Madam Speaker, this government has turned the right to a fair trial into an endurance trek. Madam Speaker, they can hold all they want, but until they...
How many times a week were you at the gym getting ready for...
Me say, ZULIEKA JESS, man. She came with the gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen. She came with the gauntlet.
Fix the Justice Christ house. Madam Speaker, they can hold all they want, but until they fix the justice crisis in the West, we will speak about this in the halls of this parliament.
So Marissa Dalrymple, why you a hold? Cause you the pan okay, like we are gonna about it. How about see, how did she get in the Ministry of Justice? Man, yo, this government is really trash, bro. I'm talking about all the way trash. Man, it's the worst government ever, bro, man.
This ministry has turned the...
Look how much time them disturb the lady. There's so much time she has said this ministry. And her voice softened and she's not a loudspeaker. And they're doing everything in their power to disturb her. they gonna get all this smoke.
Right to a fair trial into an endurance trek. This is not administering justice. This is navigating an obstacle course. The Minister of Justice speaks about first-class justice system and modernization of the justice system, but I challenge the Minister today, leave your air-conditioned office in Kingston, come down to Santa Cruz, come down to Westmoreland, work in a port where there is no running water, pay the taxi fare from Lucy, pay the taxi fare from Savlamar to Lucy, and tell the people why they should tolerate this injustice.
ZULIEKA just challenges the Minister of Justice to come and experience all the challenges economically and also physically and also mentally that people in the justice system, whether lawyers, judges, witnesses, what they call those people, people that work in the courts overall, traveling from Lucy to Savlamar, from Westmoreland, like, wow, obstacle course just to do your job. Like, this is crazy, man. What?
Madam, thank God for the late great Roger Clark's legacy. Madam,
and this is what pisses me off about the politicians. ZULIEKA just is talking about the challenges of the Jamaican people, and this insignificant individual in Parliament, the Justice Minister, is grinning and skidding off his teeth and just spitting in the face of the people of Jamaica, telling us clearly he doesn't care, he doesn't give a damn. And I want you, all of you that are facing this particular challenge that ZULIEKA just is talking about, I don't care who you are, I don't care who you voted for, you should take this, you should take note of this. Take note of this. I want to screenshot it. Take note of this. And I've seen several members of the Jamaica Labour Party that does this on a regular basis. Cock up their foot in a parliament and just laugh off of the people of Jamaica when the opposition is actually speaking about the challenges that the people face. You understand? And I'm totally disgusted. It's hard to express what I want to say without, Yeah, but I'm absolutely disgusted, ladies and gentlemen. 1,000,000%. Man, these people.
Speaker, but Madam Speaker, don't take my word for it. The Chief Justice himself stated that this ministry is an unreliable partner. This statement was made after it was revealed that the judiciary had to use its own budget to carry out emergency court repairs in Western Jamaica to give judges a place to work.
The Chief Justice stated that the government is an unreliable partner. Yo, listen, I gotta find this article, bro. I gotta find this article. Chief Justice says that the government is an unreliable partner. I need to find this article. Real talk. Justice system buckling under poor infrastructure. April 10th. I guess this is what it is. And there is also, wait a minute, you telling me that there is a video? Hold up. No, I'm definitely highlighting this. I'm definitely highlighting this. Ain't no way, bro. We ain't gonna just gloss over that. This is significant. Lord have mercy. Chief Justice say he will not be dictated to. I guess that's not a video, it's just a criminal justice system. Okay, is there a video? Let me see if I can find a video. That would be good. Short video. Chief Justice of Jamaica. Chief Justice cites stressed judge's interpretation. No, that's not it. It only came in the newspaper then. Alright, that's cool. I ain't got a problem with that. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm definitely highlighting this. I don't know what they think this is. Lord have mercy.
But Madam Speaker,
Shoot. So, ladies and gentlemen, something that ZULIEKA just highlighted in her speech that I want to, I did not know about, and of course, persons might want to have the details to what she said and the proof. So, listen to what she's saying here, and then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the platform. It's about BOLO TBV, and are we in this space again? ZULIEKA just highlighted something in her speech that I want you to hear, and then I'm going to show you the proof of what she's talking about. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
But Madam Speaker, don't take my word for it. The Chief Justice himself stated that this ministry is an unreliable partner. This statement was made after it was revealed that the judiciary had to use its own budget to carry out emergency court repairs in Western Jamaica to give judges a place to work. When the courts have to stop focusing on clearing backlogs and instead start acting like building contractors just to put a roof over a judge's head, that is not a success story. It is a total system failure.
Embarrassing. We need some milk.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you what she's talking about. We're gonna go right to the article. I found it. Wow, this is crazy. Here it is. The article is in the Observer. No wonder I missed it. I don't usually read the Observer a lot. Let me read it aloud for you.
From left, President of the Court of Appeal Marva McDonald Bishop and Chief Justice Brian Syke. Justice system buckling under poor infrastructure, says Court of Appeal President. President of the Court of Appeal Marva McDonald Bishop has added her voice to those expressing concern about the state of Jamaica's courthouses and has declared that modern law practitioners require up-to-date and reformed facilities. Speaking at King's House during a swearing-in ceremony for 8 members appointed to serve in higher offices on Thursday, McDonald Bishop pointed to the Bible verse Matthew 9 verse 17, which states, "Neither do people pour new wine into old wineskins. If they do, the skins will burst, the wine will spill, and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved." Latest news. She argued that the Bible verse is a metaphor for Jamaica's outdated legal system and called for modernization to usher in a new generation of practitioners to interpret and apply the law. The image of the new wine being poured into old wineskins offers a useful reflection for the administration of justice in our time. The metaphor indicates that new realities or transformative ideas cannot be maintained within rigid or outdated structures without those structures being renewed. As I considered the metaphor, I thought of my newly appointed judges. In every respect, they carry the image and the features of that new wine. But have they been poured into new wineskins or old wineskins? Said McDonald Bishop. She charged that Jamaica's courts are lacking in several critical ways, which stifles the productivity of its professionals. Our courthouses reflect older architectural and operational designs that really are not suitable for dispensing justice.
Mama son.
Inadequate facilities for victims and witnesses. And even though we think the powers that be for looking out for jurors in terms of a stipend, we do not even have the facilities to even house jurors to comfortably adjudicate or deliberate on cases. Limited technological infrastructure. Although we talk about virtual hearings and meeting the people where they are, charged McDonald Bishop. He pointed to the Court of Appeal. She pointed to the Court of Appeal building in downtown Kingston and charged that while it appears pristine on the outside, it nevertheless carries many flaws, including several security risks and poor solid waste management.
You hear that?
The Court of Appeal building may seem new on the outside, but it's crumbling on the inside.
Wow.
Not because of neglect, because, to be fair to the Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, and the Permanent Secretary, Grace and Stuart McFarlane, and the Court Administration Division, they have given us everything we need, but now the sewage is seeping into the Court of Appeal, affecting us day by day. Homeless people pose a serious security risk for us. The taxi operators who park at the court steps pose a serious security risk for us, and so do the higglers who ply their wares along the courts, said McDonald Bishop. She argued that as the global space changes and becomes more technologically advanced, Jamaica's legal practitioners must also be given opportunity to evolve through the modernization of their work environment. When old wineskins become problematic, they cannot stretch, they burst under new pressure, or they prevent real transformation. I join with the Chief Justice, Brian Sykes, in calling upon the powers that be to pay greater attention to the needs of the justice system for better courthouses, added McDonald Bishop. In his address to the swearing-in ceremony, Chief Justice Brian Sykes also expressed concern about the state of the island's courthouses. Sykes pointed out that after Hurricane Melissa, which made landfall in Jamaica in October 2025, causing damage to several courthouses, the judiciary met with officials of the Ministry of Justice to get the main courts in Savannah-Lamar, Westmoreland, either renewed or replaced. He charged that 5 months after the Category 5 storm, there has been no correspondence from the government indicating its intention to restore the buildings. Would you believe that to date there has been no response in terms of getting the main courts in Savannah-Lamar either up and running or being replaced? Nothing has happened. And when we say that we need a larger budget, we are told that we are taking on things that are best left for the Ministry of Justice. But if a Category 5 hurricane cannot spur you into action after months, what good reason is there to believe that anything at all will spur you into action, said Sykes. He announced that through the judiciary's budget, it has been able to carry out repairs to several courts across western Jamaica to ensure that members of the judiciary have appropriate spaces to work. According to Sykes, the judiciary has repaired and improved circuit and family courts in Westmoreland and Trelawney, respectively. And so, we repeat that the judiciary needs to have greater control over the resources, and it's a simple division of labor. Make the buildings, hand them over, and we will maintain them because, as the experience of Hurricane Melissa has shown, the ministries are an unreliable partner in this endeavor, charged Sykes.
Emotional damage. Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you I found the article, man. ZULIEKA just told no lies. She told no lies, ladies and gentlemen. The Justice Sykes, they used their own budget to repair the household. The man said after several months, there has been no correspondence from them. So if a hurricane, and that's a good reasoning, if hurricane, a Category 5 storm, does not get the government moving into action to repair these places, what will, after so many months, what they must do? Wait on the hurricane season that is coming now to damage some more, and then they do repairs the next. And you see, here comes Nara, and they're going to say, oh, Nara. Bro, You gotta come up with a faster response than that after a hurricane. You not telling me that you don't have no power to move and do things? How did you give JPS 150 million US? We are going to go to it every single time to show you that you guys have emergency powers and you could have done something. It's what you guys prioritized. It is your strategy. Let's continue. Let's see if she said no more about it.
This statement was made after it was revealed that the judiciary had to use its own budget. But Madam Speaker, don't take my word for it. The Chief Justice himself stated that this ministry is an unreliable partner. This statement was made after it was revealed that the judiciary had to use its own budget to carry out emergency court repairs in Western Jamaica to give judges a place to work. When the courts have to stop focusing on clearing backlogs and instead start acting like building contractors just to put a roof over a judge's head, that is not a success story. It is a total system failure, and the people need justice. Madam Speaker, there is no context in the world that would make the words unreliable partner sound good when they come from the head of the judiciary. Those words aren't opposition talking points. That is a direct, unprecedented indictment from Chief Justice Brian Sykes. When the highest judge in the land publicly states that the judiciary cannot be trusted to provide basic functional infrastructure, that is a vote of no confidence. Hurricane Melissa was an act of nature, but this delay in restoring our courts is an act of sheer incompetence. We are not blaming the minister for the hurricane. We are blaming the minister for the total absence of a recovery plan. It does not take 7 months to connect a water tank so that court workers can wash their hands.
Right,
it doesn't take 7 months to post 1 or 2 police officers outside a courthouse to secure court files. Madam Speaker, if the Chief Justice of Jamaica can find the resources to fix the court infrastructure, what is the minister doing with his?
Mighty God.
And if he has none, is it that logistics has prevented the good Prime Minister from directing some of the barely touched disaster recovery funds to restore access to justice in these hurricane-affected parishes?
Emotional damage.
I put it to you, Madam Speaker, justice under this government is a disaster in need of recovery. I urge the minister to commission and fund an emergency infrastructural and security audit of all rural courthouses across Jamaica. We demand immediate police security deployment to the Santa Cruz courthouse. We demand clear timelines and urgent allocations for the construction of the St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland Parish courts so the people can access justice. Madam Speaker, I turn very quickly to an issue that I dub the legal aid injustice.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call the ether. If you know anything about rap, this was an ether moment. I never knew about that article, you know. Yes, the article that I just showed, I never knew about it. Thank God for Nikisha Burchell to point this out in her speech. That one went past my decks. As a matter of fact, I think somebody blocked it from me seeing it because I didn't look at it. But everything she said, man, I agree with her, and I hope that the government responds. Does it take embarrassing them in front of the world for them to respond? Maybe. But before I go, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share this with you. This is Mr. Omar Newell. Not before I go, in this reaction that I'm doing right now, before I end this reaction, Mr. Omar Newell in Parliament on the same day, Desmond McKenzie. I have to put this in here. Desmond McKenzie had something to say about a market in Highgate. And this is the response of Omar Newell. I want you to listen carefully.
If you follow parliamentary affairs in this country, if you follow parliamentary affairs in this country, you would know, you would have heard that the local government minister just announced that the Highgate market is going to be built this year. And if you're a watcher, you would also know that this was announced in 2022 and again in 2024. I'm just sharing that fact with you, but we're going to hold the minister accountable, and we're going to fight for the Highgate market to be complete this year, as has just been announced.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Omar Newell in the middle of Desmond McKenzie's speech put out this video. I just saw it today, and I've added it to this particular reaction. Those that are live listening, hey, you the VIPs. But in 2022, they announced the build out. The PM announces plans to build 2-story market building in Highgate, St. Mary in 2024, and 2 years before that, renovation of the Highgate market to be done on a phased basis. So what was the first phase? Them not start building it on a 2026 now, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. 4 years. Let's see if them gonna start it this year, ladies and gentlemen. Or they're gonna tell the people that, oh, you know, things came up, another hurricane came, and you know, we don't have the money, although we allocated it in this and that, and we allocated it in that. We just don't have the money. All these excuses. But big up Mr. Omar Newell, and a massive shout out to ZULIEKA, just ladies and gentlemen. Alright, the PMP ain't playing. The P's in the PMP got nothing to do with playing. You heard? They are power punching. They are power knocking punches at the Jamaica Labour Party. Alright? Power knocking punches, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? Just shout out to Omar Newell. You know what y'all think about that in the comment section. Lord have mercy. Let's continue.
Too many ordinary Jamaicans are being completely locked out of the courts because this administration refuses to expand the categories of cases covered by legal aid. The legal aid framework is rigidly structured to primarily cover criminal matters. But what does the data actually say? The data shows that the vast majority of citizens requesting legal aid are begging for help with civil matters over criminal matters. According to the Legal Aid Council, 90% of legal requests received from members of the public are for civil matters, particularly divorces tied to incidents of domestic abuse. Madam Speaker, access to justice cannot be a half measure. When a government limits legal aid to a narrow band of cases, it effectively closes the doors of the court to the poor. We see the consequences every single day in our courts. Unrepresented litigants struggling to understand complex legal rules, overwhelmed judges trying to balance the scales, and ultimately a breakdown of public trust in the rule of law.
So even access to justice, ladies and gentlemen, the Jamaica Labour Party is blocking out the poor. The data suggests, or the data not suggests, the data says that most of the cases is really certain types, not just criminal, but they're just focused on criminal, so there's a limitation. Wow. Another footnote on all the issues that is going on. with the Jamaica Labour Party, Ministry of Justice. Wow. Man, listen. She keeping me busy, y'all. She keeping me, I don't know about
According to the Chief Justice's Civil Division Statistics Report, over 16,000 new civil cases are filed in the parish court every single year.
Whoa.
But the report also shows that in up to 70% of those civil cases, at least one party is completely without a lawyer.
My God.
Forced to face a judge completely on their own. Madam Speaker, it is a David versus Goliath battle where the state refuses to give David a sling, not even a stone.
Yo, this lady's speech need to be done in parts, bro. Like, you gotta focus on that, what she's saying all by itself. I would love to see that data. Lord have mercy. 70%? Man, what? 70%? That's a lot. Yo, I gotta put that in my footnotes. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all are doing it, but I'm doing it. I'm telling you right now. I'm putting that in my footnotes. So you telling me 70% of the persons don't get any legal aid, any legal assistance from the government in these particular situations that ZULIEKA just is talking about? Wow. So they gotta just go in court and just defend themselves. Isn't there like a right to like, isn't that like against people's rights? You know, constitutionally? No defense? No. Man, listen. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I heard Andrew talking about? The same thing that Desmond McKenzie suggested in Parliament. Some type of way to lock up more Jamaican people over garbage disposal. Stiffer penalties. This government is drunk and poor to the point where they love locking up Jamaican people. If they're not unaliving them, they're making criminals of them for small stuff. You heard it? Oh my God! But did you hear the live from earlier tonight on JIS? Did you hear him tonight on JIS? I was listening to a part of it. I was like, what the hell is this? Whose man's is this? And you should hear the man talking about the fabric of sis. You should hear the man talking about the fabric of the society and how it's been downgraded. And I'm like, you think you're at the helm doing what you've been doing? Your statutory declaration is not even certified. So what are you talking about? Man, listen, you can't make this up, bro.
What makes this absolutely worse, Madam Speaker, is that it has absolutely nothing to do with lack of resources. During the recent Standing Finance Committee right here at Gordon House, the Minister of Justice openly admitted on the record that the money is there. What? He proudly declared that the ministry satisfied all claims by attorney and has the fiscal space.
What?
Therefore, let us call it what it really is. A total lack of political will and complete indifference to the plight of the poor. The money is there. The budget has the space. The minister confessed that the funds exist. Yet this administration chooses to let those funds sit idle while poor Jamaicans are crushed by legal fees or forced to forfeit their rights because they cannot afford an attorney. The people do not want any more excuses, Madam Speaker. We do not want public relations mobile units that can only give legal advice but leave citizens defenseless when a civil trial actually starts. We demand that the government stop hoarding these resources, listen to the data from its own agencies, and immediately amend the regulations to expand legal aid categories to cover civil matters. Stop locking the poor out of justice. Madam.
So I gotta make another footnote. This is a lot. So to compile things on the footnote, Horace Chan was on record on the Hansard at a committee meeting stating that, you know, they have the money is there, and everything is covered. But why aren't the people getting justice? What? Man, yo, you cannot make this up, bro. You cannot make this up. Boy, I tell you, boy, let's continue.
Madam Speaker, I move to address a deep inequity in our community justice system. The total lack of financial support, stipend, or expense coverage for Jamaica's justices of the peace. The Ministry of Justice expects over 7,000 JPs to render strictly voluntary service. They are forbidden. The Ministry of Justice expects over 12,000 JPs to render strictly voluntary service. They are forbidden from accepting any payment or reward, yet the state relies on them to process bail, to visit lockups, to conduct mediation. Active JPs must currently pay for their own stationery, printer, ink, travel costs for courts and prisons out of their own pockets, and even fund their expenses to serve in court as lay magistrates. Madam Speaker, this...
No, what a wicked government do. What a evil, a real labor pain, if you call themselves, you know, labor pain. Then terribly, man. Backside. Man, then terrible, brother. Man, then terrible. When I tell you no lie, the man then terrible. What can go so Jamaica?
Is not sustainable voluntarism. It is institutional exploitation.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I do not yield. I do not yield, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Minister
Member
of Justice continues
Member Jess. Member Jess? Member Jess? Member Jess?
Name again.
Please sit. Please sit. Member Jess, please sit. Listen, you know, if you would only learn the standing orders, as members, I would so appreciate it. Member Jess, please take your seat. Minister Chuck, please quote.
You hear what she said a while ago? And she appointed on the PNP side, you know, if you would only know your standing orders, she would appreciate it. I know look on the embarrassment now.
The standing order number on which
you know some mega say that part.
Member Jess.
So ladies and gentlemen, and I remember what I say, go back and look on this particular thing with Juliet Wallace. Just look how she angled that situation and when Delroy Chuck get up on a point of order. And listen and watch what she has said. Look on this.
Please sit. Please sit. Member Jess, please sit. Listen, you know, if you would only learn the standing orders, as members, I would so appreciate it. Member Jess, please.
So you can see her clearly looking at the People's National Party when she said that. And then 2 moments later, check this out.
Take your seat. Minister Chuck, please quote the standing order number on which you are raising a point of order.
The member is misleading the House.
That is not a...
Go ahead.
You need to stop.
Y'all saw that, right? Y'all heard that. What a thing. See them a meet there now. They'll right Chuck embarrass them, you know. These things that them try to pin for the PMP, like say PMP I don't go on and know standing orders. Look at them now. You see she wanna point for the PMP a while ago?
Member Jess, I have not turned your mic on so that your time does not run. And I'm using this opportunity to reiterate, what is not a point of order is misleading the House. Points of order are statements made in a debate that contravenes the rule of the House. And therefore, points of interruptions, which is subsection 2 or B, are requiring the member on their feet to sit and allow the courtesy of the other member saying what their point is of interruption or clarification. And so this is another teaching moment for us. In addition to which, since I've already interrupted the member on her feet, members, allow her to do her presentation as is required in silence in the House. Members, I am sure that I'll soon complete my research in dropping some additional instruments in the House that help us to hear all of these comments that I can barely hear up here. I'm sure the public would love to know what we are saying, and I would love to know too. Member for St. Elizabeth Northeast, you may continue. And member, in order not to interrupt you, I'll ask the assistant clerk to add your additional time at the end, so the mic will, the monitor will go off when you're finished.
Thank you, Madam.
So on the ear, you hear what she said a while ago? She said that I will add your additional time at the end. So let me play it again because it was confusing when she said it wasn't clear.
Ask the assistant clerk to add your additional time at the end, so the mic will, the monitor will go off when you're finished.
Thank you.
So she said, I'm gonna ask them to add your additional time at the end. At the end, that means that's supposed to mean at the end when the monitor goes burp, burp, burp. So the monitor went burp, burp, burp one time. So if you're gonna add it at the end, so it don't interrupt her. The second part of what she said never made no sense. It was very confusing.
I'll ask the assistant clerk to add your additional time at the end, so the mic will, the monitor will go off when you're finished.
Thank you.
Adding your additional time at the end so the monitor will go off when you're finished is not a clear statement. It's a contradicting statement. It's a confusing statement. Because if you're going to add it at the end, it first has to end, then it to be added. So it's one thing coming after the next. So when ZULIEKA JESS, and I knew, I made a video about this, I knew she didn't make it clear, ladies and gentlemen. So she was chastising ZULIEKA JESS about saying, right, at the end, and it was a whole big thing. And she was like, oh, if they don't stop talking, oh, she's not going to give her the time on one bag of something. You see the evidence they right in front of you. You should just deal with the thing on a level and stop being this big old bully. This is not soldier camp. You feel me I deal with, and them and your picnic. You get me I said run your own soldier camp in your yard. Sorry about that. Run your own soldier camp in your yard. Because I remember she said that. And I said, no. But she never tell her I said. She never tell her I said she had the time already. So when it end, it got finished completely. Listen what she say again. Listen what she say again.
not to interrupt you, I'll ask the assistant clerk to add your additional time at the end, so the mic will, the monitor will go off when you're finished.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
As well,
Madam Speaker, the Minister.
As well-intentioned as the speaker might have been, her statement was not clear. You understand? Because she seemed like she was genuine here, so. And we can give props where props is due. But her statement was not clear. So the understanding could not be clear. So now when it reached the end now, you know, just cool yourself, man. And listen what the speaker said. But I liked how ZULIEKA just handled it. ZULIEKA just don't answer her, you know. ZULIEKA just make sure that they are puff and a huff at the end. But let's continue. They'll write Chuck Vex, but we're not business.
Of Justice continues to flatly reject proposals for a stipend for JPs. He calls it a pure voluntary post, ignoring that the cost of paper, gas, and electricity makes it a luxury only the rich can afford. True justice cannot run on charity alone. The opposition demands a modernized framework for our JPs. Madam Speaker, this administration is completely out of step with global trends. There is clear established international precedent for the financial facilitation of JPs, proving that voluntarism does not require a person to compromise their own livelihood. The opposition urges the ministry to look across the globe and recognize how modern democracies practice or protect their JPs. In the UK, in Australia, in Canada, in those jurisdictions, JPs are also volunteers, but they receive a loss of earnings allowance and travel expenses. They do not pay out of pocket to serve the Crown. The state actively reimburses them for the costs incurred while delivering justice. The opposition is not calling for a lavish salary. We're calling for an enforceable, transparent stipend modeled after international best practices. It is time to treat Jamaica's JPs with the global standard of dignity they deserve.
So the JPs, you know, the Jamaican government is not treating the JPs where global standard is concerned. Pretty much want them for voluntary work, and it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? They gotta pay for stuff. I don't know why this is even a thing, but the JLP is just, everything is a thing. Let's continue. May I get tired for put on footnotes, ladies and gentlemen. This is too much, man. Yo, these guys got to go, man. Like
we pay notaries public to notarize documents, and we pay judges to hear cases. Why shouldn't we offer our JPs a stipend to cover out-of-pocket expenses? Madam Speaker, the primary duty of this House is to pass laws that deliver justice, not absurdity. I turn now to address a glaring crisis in our judicial system. The Firearms Prohibition, Restriction, and Regulation Act requires urgent common sense amendments. I would be the first to join any sensible effort to be tough on crime, because it is a monster that must be tamed and eliminated. That said, it befuddles me as to why we would seek to use a hammer to hit a mosquito. This administration passed a law so poorly thought out that it has ceased to protect the public and has instead made criminals out of non-violent Jamaicans, including creatives. Just weeks ago, Madam Speaker, a music producer was slapped with a mandatory minimum 15-year sentence, not for a real weapon, but for imitation firearms used as props in music videos. Not a single bullet could ever leave those plastic barrels. Yet this government used a 15-year sledgehammer to crush a creative professional who posed no threat to public safety.
So this law, this ridiculous, demonstrous law of an imitation firearm, 15 years mandatory in prison. So now you have a person that's productive, like a producer that got locked up for that. Sulfur is also a victim. He's in court right now for the same thing. like this government really turns regular citizens into criminals. Like this is some wild stuff, man. There's no justice in Jamaica. We need justice. Real talk, man. Hey, I'm writing down all these footnotes, brother. Hey.
A prominent defense attorney recently lamented the sheer absurdity of this regime by revealing that the state actually wasted time and precious resources conducting ballistic tests on a cardboard cutout of a gun. Cardboard, Madam Speaker. Under this government, a cardboard cutout is being taken to a government lab to test if it can fire a bullet. Government forensic experts are performing ballistics on cardboard.
So the government of Jamaica has gone to a new level. So these imitation firearms include cardboard, and they're doing scientific ballistic tests to see if the cardboard can shoot bullets. Honestly, I am not making this up. It sounds as ridiculous as it sounds. And it is as ridiculous as it sounds. Wasting money out here, ladies and gentlemen.
Madam Speaker, this Parliament must act without delay. We must urgently amend this law to restore full unrestricted sentencing discretion to our judges. And we must make these amendments retroactive, so those currently suffering under this legislative failure can have their sentences reviewed. Madam Speaker, if we needed any further proof that the administration of firearms in this country is broken from the top down, we need look no further than the Integrity Commission's own report 37 of 2026. That report tabled yesterday found that the Firearm Licensing Authority, under the watch of its Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Shane Dallin, presided over a vault where ammunition belonging to private citizens went missing. A computer system that was deliberately manipulated to destroy the livelihood of a licensed dealer using the identity of a man who was already dead. And a server whose catastrophic failure conveniently erased the very evidence that would have identified who gave the order. Madam Speaker, a man who runs an authority where the dead are used to falsify records, where vault doors cannot account for what is inside them, and where evidence disappears without consequence, has no business holding public office.
You know, I'm observing Nikisha Burchell, ladies and gentlemen. And Nikisha Burchell, her support for ZULIEKA JESS is, I love it. She's there and she's just, you know, she's excited. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'm observing her right behind her. If you watch it carefully, you will see. Wow.
The People's National Party therefore calls unequivocally and without reservation for Mr. Shane Dallin to resign immediately. The People's National Party therefore calls unequivocally and without reservation for Mr. Shane Dallin to tender his immediate resignation. People of Jamaica deserve leadership that upholds the law, not leadership that the Integrity Commission itself has found wanting. Madam Speaker, the people need justice. But Madam Speaker, justice is not about a sentence handed down in a courtroom. Justice is a lived experience. This administration likes to paint a beautiful picture of justice, but my job today is not to admire the paintwork. It is to open the hood and examine the engine. The engine of justice is making a rattling sound sparked by an alarming rise in police fatal killings. And let me be very, very clear. I will forever defend the police's right to defend themselves when faced with deadly force from criminal elements. But the latest income data shows that 133 persons have already been shot and killed by members of the security forces since the start of this year alone. Madam Speaker, the engine of justice is rattling. This rattling requires us to confront the dangerous rhetoric coming from the very top of our justice system. Instead of demanding accountability, the Minister of Justice recently responded to these tragedies by declaring that the law allows police to use reasonable force, including deadly force, to stop a fleeing suspect.
But look on ugly blouse and skirt. Look on him. Let me screenshot this. Hey, he said that Tala Nana. Oh, yo. Hold your tongue, bro. Hold your tongue, Bolo. Hold your tongue. Look on this insignificant source of representation in our parliament. Look at this insignificant source of representation in our parliament and a pine pan ZULIEKA JESS. And see my skin up in face and look on the phone. You can't even do this, you know? You don't know anything, you know? I don't know how you see the phone, Jamaica. I don't know how you see the phone. Watcha. Can we make up in face? Like cameraman, you work. Right now, you're not goal. You're not a goal to nose and square. Cameraman, you work. Not try to defend Chang. Can't defend Chang. Not true, Marcus. She's the best.
To tell a grieving, terrified nation that running away gives the state a legal right to execute you on the streets is a grave mistake. The engines of justice demand protection of the right to due process. The engines of justice demand a fair trial. The engines of justice demand a presumption of innocence. Running away must never become an automatic death sentence. Nor can we allow the ministry to rewrite the law to justify street-side executions. Madam Speaker, equally troubling is the police commissioner's dismissive response. Madam Speaker, might I have your protection? Madam Speaker, equally troubling is the police commissioner's dismissive response, defending police failures as being viewed through the lens of hindsight. But when lives are lost, evaluating police actions is not an exercise in hindsight. It is a demand for foresight.
Yo, ZULIEKA just did not leave any stones unturned. She is the hallmark of holding the government accountable where the justice ministry is concerned. Can you imagine her and Isaac Buchanan? Can you imagine both of them partnering up? Yo, I'm telling you, there's gonna be some serious changes in this country, man. Soon and very soon. Alright? It's not gonna be a total change at first, but all the pieces are in place. All the pieces are in place. God has been working on our behalf. We just gotta just surrender to Him. God has been working on our behalf, ladies and gentlemen. I could see the picture. I could see the bigger picture, like, you know, I could see it. I can see it. Real talk. Real talk, I can see it. Wow. Let's continue.
It is a demand for training.
And she call out Oris Chang and Dr. Kevin Blake. No apology.
It is a demand for the use of body-worn cameras, and it is a demand for basic human rights.
Basic.
When the police commissioner, in the wake of public outcry, tells rank-and-file officers not to become paralyzed by criticism, he is building a wall of institutional arrogance. He is telling his men that they are above the law, above the people, above accountability. Madam Speaker, the people need justice. Following the devastation of Hurricane Melissa, our people were promised relief. Donors sacrificed and gave generously to help families rebuild. Over 1.44 billion in cash donations poured into government hands. Yet according to the Auditor General's report, this administration only spent a measly, insulting 1.8% of those funds. While many Jamaicans are still sleeping under tarpaulins, while schools remain damaged, while small business owners are struggling to rebuild, millions of dollars sit idle in government hands. Only 1.8% has trickled down to poor Jamaicans who lost everything. Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister refused to admit his failure by stating that they wanted to get the perishables out first. Is this a confession, Madam Speaker? Is this a confession that this government does not know how to multitask?
Bro, when I tell you, oh my God, this girl is firing on every cylinder. Her speech, the bullets are firing on a rapid and they are hitting every target, and she's not using a sniper rifle and a peer headshot. A peer headshot. John Wick in this. Mrs. June Wick. She's Mrs. June Wick. Everybody dead. What are you telling me, Andrew Honest? Your government can't multitask? You can't do two things one time? You have to do it one time and then two times and then three. Andrew Honest government is the Flintstone government. Well, on there. I have to make a TikTok video for that. Andrew Honest government is a Flintstone government. Back at the class government. Way back government. Me I go play this back and see me. Yep. Definitely I do a TikTok video.
Business owners are struggling to rebuild. Millions of dollars sit idle in government. Insulting 1.8% people need justice.
Yeah, I go speed it up still. Hey, me I didn't skin enough. Yeah, I didn't skin enough. Give me a second, guys. Let me use that one. TikTok, ZULIEKA just now play no games. I am gonna call her June Wick, because every bullet she fire, it a get a headshot in her speech. Listen to this.
Following the devastation of Hurricane Melissa, our people were promised relief. Donors sacrificed and gave generously to help families rebuild. Over 1.44 billion in cash donations poured into government hands. Yet according to the Auditor General's report, this administration only spent a measly, insulting 1.8% of those funds.
Insulting.
While many Jamaicans are still sleeping under tarpaulins, while schools remain damaged, while small business owners are struggling to rebuild, millions of dollars sit idle in government hands. Only 1.8% has trickled down to poor Jamaicans who lost everything. Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister refused to admit his failure by stating that they wanted to get the perishables out first. Is this a confession, Madam Speaker? Is this a confession that this government does not know how to multitask?
Jamaica, I am dubbing this government the Flintstone government. Yeah, man, them are living a dinosaur age, man. So we have to do one block at a time. 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, and however long it takes to move that 1 block there, just take your time. Because we can't move 2 blocks one time, because we don't have trucks, we can't multitask. We can't move block and sand one time. So in a them time, then I Stone Age, you know, so things did slow. This government is the Flintstone government, the Stone Age government. I always hear them blame this and blame that, and I'm saying to myself, man, and then they come, it's Nara, 1 bag of nonsense, right? Nara is just gonna fix everything, just nonsense. Like we don't see them multitasking when it suits them. We don't see them multitasking when it suits them. We don't see them use emergency pause when it suits them. So you heard it from me. I don't know if anybody else has ever said this. And so I'm saying this is the Flintstone government. Yeah, man, back at the class government. $1, $2, $3. I saw them do them slow. Yeah, them incompetent, ladies and gentlemen. The Flintstone government. Mighty God. They don't know for multitask. It's like, why am I tell any people them suffer because of it? It's a damn shame. Damn shame, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the baby.
What is the Prime Minister's explanation for unused relief monies from burial 2 years ago? Madam Speaker, the people need justice. I turn very quickly to the $1 billion solidarity program that was announced to rescue our Jamaican people. Yet the Ministry of Labour just issued a press release claiming that $533 million was returned to the consolidated fund. They tell us that nobody pocketed the money. They tell us that returning $533 million to the consolidated fund was simply a legal requirement under standard financial regulations because the fiscal year ended. In other words, Madam Speaker, the ministry's best excuse is literally, we didn't steal it. We were just too slow to spend it. But Madam Speaker, to the grandmother in my constituency who went to bed hungry last night, waiting for that $20,000 grant that the government promised, this rebuttal is a distinction without a difference. Whether it is called pocketing, reallocating, or returning to the consolidated fund, the bottom line is that the money did not reach the people, and the people need justice.
Mighty God. Why ZULIEKA just have me away? One thing when you're listening to it live, is another thing when you really listen to it. Man, she really punched a hole in them, bro. I'm telling you. So ZULIEKA just basically just eat at the government with their argument around not spending any money. And why are we complaining because the money was not stolen? Well, the people need justice. The people don't get the money. So that's no excuse. It's like moving the goalposts, and then it's the level of incompetence and these ridiculous statements, these PR statements, these damage control statements. And the well-thinking Jamaicans should not allow them to get away with this. It's on you. See them for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean?
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, when 75% of the persons targeted to benefit from that $20,000 grant did not get access to those funds, that is not justice. That is the government acting as both the giver and the ultimate taker.
Yeah.
And the people need justice. Madam Speaker, justice means different things for different people. Justice is a smooth road for the people of Northeastern St. Elizabeth who just want to reach home safely. Neglected roads are not just an inconvenience, they are a denial of justice.
Yes.
The continued neglect of our critical crossings is unacceptable. Windsor Bridge is on the verge of collapse and Grosman Bridge is a ticking time bomb. This is not just a failure of engineering. This is a failure of infrastructural justice. The urgent repair of these bridges is a matter of life and death, and the people of Northeastern St. Elizabeth need justice.
Yo, she ain't lying, bro. Remember that somebody died on one of the bridges. Then one brother, I think he did visually impaired in some capacity, and him dropped through the hole and dead. Like it's literally a matter of life and death. This is not what you call it now. You're going to parliament and you're just bantering or you know what I mean? No, this is 100% the facts of the matter. 100% the facts of the matter. You get me? She ain't lying. They need justice for real, man. Life and death business.
Time bomb. This is not just a failure of engineering. This is a failure of infrastructural justice. The urgent repair of these bridges is a matter of life and death, and the people of Northeastern St. Elizabeth need justice. The absolute peak of injustice, the ultimate betrayal of public trust is a scandalous execution of the SPARK program in Northeastern St. Elizabeth. The former Member of Parliament handpicked 10 roads for repair. All 10 roads were picked from one single division, and it happens to be the one JLP controlled division. Meanwhile, the three PNP controlled divisions have been complete. The three PNP controlled divisions have been complete. Meanwhile, the three PNP controlled divisions have been complete.
So, ladies and gentlemen, two things. See, we come to this part now because I was waiting on this too. Sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to this part now when the beeper goes off. Listen to this.
Happens to be the one JLP control division. Meanwhile, the three PNP control divisions have been complete.
So the speaker shut off her mic. The beeper goes off and she shut off her mic. I want you to listen to what the speaker said. Now remember what I said before. She did not explain to ZULIEKA just very, clearly what she was going to do. It did mix up. It wasn't clear. Alright, so keep that in mind and listen to this. And if you notice, the People's National Party is already irate. They turned off the mic, right? Because
House leader, House.
Desmond McKenzie earlier in his speech got extra amount of time. Even Peter Bunting, right, had pointed to that he knows that he would not get the same amount of time and the leverage. And I've seen it happen several times with several different members of the Jamaica Labour Party, where the Speaker of the House, herself and the others, clearly show their bias towards their side, where they give them more time than they should get, but they are strict on the PNP. Listen to this.
House Leader, House Leader, if the opposition does not stop, there will be no extra time given, even if requested by the House Leader. So I would encourage the members of the opposition to please be quiet. And Miss Burchell, Member Burchell, could you kindly not do that?
You hear that? Miss Burchell, wanna look on her face? Wanna see her face there? Let me screenshot that. Feelings are carried, ladies and gentlemen. She doesn't know how to be professional. She's a bully. You understand? Yeah. And we're going to highlight it. We're going to forever and continue to highlight it because she can't help herself. This is who she is. It's who she is. She can't help herself. Let's continue.
Let me, would you like me to go back to your member from South St. James? Inappropriate. House Leader, members of the opposition.
Area, all that threaten. Wikisha Burchell for kick her out, but if you would like me to go back to your member, so inappropriate. Hear them something here. When you hear this abuse of power, ladies and gentlemen, right? Listen to her, because she have to show up herself every time, you know. Anytime JLP I get beaten and whipping with the truth, here come she come for break the stride of the PNP. Instead of make them just flow and make the time go on, I know she'll waste time. Let's continue.
And members of the House, the members' time for St. Elizabeth Southeast was already increased because I said to her I did not want to break her again because I'd stopped her when Minister asked for a point of order. So the clock, you know, no, it doesn't matter what you have left. I am giving her 1 minute to wrap up. Okay, House Leader, no additional time. No additional time. No additional.
You see, there we go. And that's not what she said to her because I played it in this reaction already. What she actually said. What she said was not clear. It wasn't cogent. She said when it stopped, she would add the time. When it finished, she would add the time. So it finished now, so you should add the time. I never tell her, I said you would add the time before it finished.
Additional time. House Leader, don't turn your mic on again, member. Member, do not turn your mic on again. House Leader. House Leader. Member, if you turn your mic on again, you will not get any additional time. If you don't obey when you are spoken to in the House, you will not be afforded the courtesies to extend. The House Leader came up, he asked for additional time. I've asked you to be quiet, I've asked you not to turn your mic on again, and you refuse. No, because the House Leader needs to speak. I told her not to turn it on.
This lady does not have the capacity, the characteristics to be in positions of power. She's easily rattled and frustrated. Her body language is all over the place. Her facial expression is, she have a shit in the face facial expression in the time. She can't hide it. It's clear to see. You understand? She cannot help herself, ladies and gentlemen. Sad.
House Leader, please turn your mic on.
I'm asking that the member be given 2 minutes.
And I love how ZULIEKA just actually just sit down quietly and don't say nothing to her. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Members, so you hear, I extended the member's time already, and I asked the member to take her seat and do not turn on her mic. I'm asking, when instructions are given in the House, that we abide by the instructions. Question is that the member be given 2 minutes to complete. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. Member from St. Elizabeth, Northeast, you may proceed. Turn your mic on.
The 3 PNP controlled divisions in northeastern St. Elizabeth have been completely left off the SPARK program. Not one single road was selected from the Braze River division. Not one single road was selected from Silo division. Not one single road was selected from Balaclava division. Not one. The 3 divisions represented by the People's National Party have been completely starved of resources on the SPARK. They have received 0 road allocations on the SPARK. This is not justice. This is political victimization. This is the weaponization of public funds. This is the weaponization of public funds to punish people for how they vote. It is corrupt, it is malicious, it is a dangerous denial of justice to the thousands of people in northeastern St. Elizabeth, and the people need justice. Madam Speaker, we envision a justice system where if you run in fear from a system that terrorizes you, you are not executed on the streets. We see at Jamaica where top-paying jobs in multi-billion-dollar state agencies are distributed by merit and not by DNA. True justice cannot exist when the hiring process somehow conveniently narrows down to a branch on the family tree. Justice belongs equally to the farmer in Monique, the vendor in Santa Cruz, the fisherman in Black River, and the child growing up in every district across this country. Under the leadership of Mark Golding, that is the Jamaica we seek to build, and that is a fight we will wage from the halls of this parliament to the streets. Madam Speaker, even the late great Bustamante would agree that this administration is not practicing equal rights and justice. I rest my case.
So, big up ZULIEKA JESS. Instead of this lady wasting the people in time, all she had to do was just be quiet, hush, and let it ride, and let her finish. Right? Even challenging, oh, you're not gonna get any time. What is this? What the hell is going on? Why is that happening? You know, so there's something little, oh my God, bro. What?
House Leader, if the opposition does not stop, there will be...
Of public trust is the scandalous execution of the SPARK program in northeastern St. Elizabeth. The former Member of Parliament handpicked 10 roads for repair. All 10 roads were picked from one single division. One division, and it happens to be the one JLP control division. Meanwhile, the 3 PNP control divisions have been complete.
So ZULIEKA JESS is trying to hurry up and finish our speech. It beeps off, and they shut off our mic.
House. They're the opposition. House Leader, if the opposition does not stop, there will be no extra time given, even if requested by the House Leader. So I would encourage the members of the opposition to please be quiet. And Miss Burchell, Member Burchell, could you kindly...
She's not supposed to... Oh, man. Sorry about that, yo. Sorry about that, guys. I'm all over the place. I need to just end and do this reaction and just end. So... you see the vibe between, well, she has a vibe for Keisha Burchell. It's clear this lady cannot be professional. If you look at her body language right here, let's look at her.
not do that. Let me, would you like me to go back to your member from South St. James? Inappropriate. House Leader, members of the opposition, members of the House, the members' time for St. Elizabeth Southeast was already increased because I said to her, I did not want to break her again because I'd stopped her when Minister asked for a point of order.
I'll be honest, like I said, I think she had good intentions, but she wasn't clear in the statement that she made to her. You can go back and rewind the tape. I showed you and I played it a couple times for you. She did not say it in the correct way to make it clear to ZULIEKA just because it sounded like she was saying, when your time is done, I'm going to add time. I don't want to stop you, don't worry about it. But she's saying here that she already added the time, so when the time stopped now, you know, say your time done. But she never explained it like that, so there was confusion. But the way she's dealing with this now and getting personal and, you know, calling out the entire PMP for no reason, we know that there's an issue. What you expect, the people, and you always ignore the people, and there's a vibe between you and the PMP. So now you're going to be combative and going to be more biased. And this is why you need to resign. We need somebody that don't have your level of bias in the seat. You need to go, lady. Let's look at her.
So the clock, you know, no, it doesn't matter what you have left. I am giving her 1 minute to wrap up. Okay, House Leader, no additional time. No additional time. No additional time.
Anytime you hear her repeat herself like that, you know the virate gonna come out. You understand? It's coming out.
Member, do not turn your mic on again. House Leader. You will not get any additional time. If you don't obey when you are spoken to in the House, you will not be afforded the courtesies to extend. The House Leader came up, he asked for additional time. I've asked you to be quiet, I've asked you not to turn your mic on again, and you refuse. No, because the House Leader needs to speak. I told her not to turn it on.
You see how she slammed down? You see how she slammed down her you know, herself and just a dash her hand and just a turn her head. All of these just unprofessional body languages. She too emotional, brother. You understand what I deal with? She too much, bro. She needs to deal with the thing like a professional or give somebody to just get out of the way that somebody professional can do the job. She can't help herself, you know?
House Leader, please turn your mic on.
I'm in love with ZULIEKA just calm and sit down.
Imagine being able to
big up ZULIEKA just. She just calm and sit down, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean?
Madam Speaker, I'm asking that the member be given 2 minutes to complete her presentation.
You know what I notice about the Speaker of the House? She only does this to the PMP. When the JLP is behaving all the way, or they behave over there even worse and just get crazy, she doesn't do that to them. She doesn't do that to them. You know? She is literally trying to put her foot on the neck of the People's National Party to control them in her position and just Lego the JLP, make them go on with anything they want to do in a parliament. we clearly see
it. Members, so you hear, I extended the member's time already, and I asked the member to take her seat and do not turn on her mic. I am asking, when instructions are given in the House, that we abide by the instructions. Question is that the member be given 2 minutes to complete. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. Member from St. Elizabeth Northeast, you may proceed. Turn your mic on.
The 3 3 PNP-controlled divisions in northeastern St. Elizabeth have been completely left off the SPARK program. Not one single road was selected from the Braze River Division. Not one single road was selected from Silo Division. Not one single road was selected from Balaclava Division. Not one. The 3 divisions represented by the People's National Party have been completely starved of resources on the SPARK. They have received 0 road allocations on the SPARK. This is not justice. This is political victimization. This is a weaponization of public funds. This is the weaponization of public funds to punish people for how they vote. It is corrupt, it is malicious, it is a dangerous denial of justice to the thousands of people in northeastern St. Elizabeth, and the people need justice. Madam Speaker, we envision a justice system where if you run in fear from a system that terrorizes you, you are not executed on the streets. We see at Jamaica where top-paying jobs in multi-billion-dollar state agencies are distributed by merit and not by DNA. True justice cannot exist when the hiring process somehow conveniently narrows down to a branch on the family tree. Justice belongs equally to the farmer in Monique, the vendor in Santa Cruz, the fisherman in Black River, and the child growing up in every district across this country. Under the leadership of Mark Golding, that is the Jamaica we seek to build, and that is a fight we will wage from the halls of this parliament to the streets. Madam Speaker, even the late great Bustamante would agree that this administration is not practicing equal rights and justice. I rest my case.
One ZULIEKA, JESS. And I rest my case about the speaker. I rest my case about the speaker of the House how she handled the situation. Terrible, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely terrible. Big up ZULIEKA, JESS. Let me know what you think in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. One ZULIEKA. And I love the support. Look at the support. One big up from Mr. Ross. Big up from who that? Isaac Buchanan, Christopher Brown, Anthony Miller. Oh gosh, man, we love the support, man. Oh gosh, man. So Fitz Jackson, everybody. Yes, all of the ladies, them, what I mean. Marky G, everybody. That is it. One ZULIEKA, JESS. Not two. You hear that? Like I sure, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my side. The time is bedtime. I gotta go. I have a video premiering on BOLO VNR 2.0 and BOLO VNR clips from our people on TikTok. If you guys still up, check out the video on YouTube. The link to my YouTube is in the bio of my page. You will see the YouTube link. Make sure all you, the 70 of you, go over there and subscribe. Give me a like, give me a share. Thank you. The word is love. Out of love. Look over. You know, people, teddy bear, everybody, David, everybody, big up on yourself. Thanks to the gift them. Ooh, the teddy bear. David, big up yourself. Big up yourself for that gift. First time I get one of them teddy bear there. Or second time. Second time, I think second time. I think Ivan did give me one too. Yeah, man. 24 teddy bear. Because, you know, 24th of my birthday. Not this month, you know, but the month of my born at the 24th of my birthday. So, yeah. Look at more people. Sooner or later, TikTok. BOLO TBV. The word is love. Look at it. Manners and respect. Hear that? Outside.